My name is Jake Elliott, and I work at Free Methodist Church of Santa Barbara as the pastor of worship, college ministries, and evangelism. I was raised in the Free Methodist Church, wonderful family, loving parents with strong Christian faith, and so grateful for that. And the first time that I felt a personal tug on my heart from God was when I was 17, and I was faced with a decision to be a leader in a school group I was in, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. It wasn't necessarily a popular choice. I was conflicted about it, and I went out into a big field, these bluffs behind my neighborhood, and just prayed very earnestly, openly to God, was completely by myself, and just asked him, Lord, what do I do? And not audibly, but very clearly in my head, heard the question, who have I made you? And just from that moment, it became very clear that God had created me to use my gifts, my wirings, my passions. But so years later, I was working in a real estate firm, very far the other direction of ministry, and it was a job. I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do, but it was a job. And in that time, there was a lead pastoral transition at my church, and Pastor Colleen asked me to come on as a part-time worship leader, which I did. And still at that point, ministry wasn't really on my mind as a career path. So at that point, was part-time, quit the real estate path, and decided to start the ordination process. Actually, at that time, just started full-time at the church, and it took about a year and a half for me to really decide and discern that yes, that was the call for that season. Recently, I took a test online. I can't even remember which one. And my top strength was administration, which was a total surprise because I'm not even that organized of a guy. But then as I read its description, it started to make sense. It kind of resonates with something that I've seen in the Free Methodist Church over the last few years, and that's that, us being Methodists and a lot about learning about John Wesley and the way that he organized ministry focused on discipleship and relationship, but within that a regard to the poor, a focus on holiness, all of these things that are important spiritual values, coupled with these really just impressive systems and organizations and I suppose methods that really kind of promote church health, accountability, equal clergy, equal lay. I really, as I learned about that stuff, I started to realize, I really like this. And it doesn't take away from the beautiful, organic, spiritual side of church, of being a church family. No, it actually supports that. Going back to the call, it's been really interesting. I thought that the process would make my kind of life path more clear, which it didn't. It kind of did the opposite. What that resulted in is learning to walk more just in surrender to God. And that's something that the CMC process helped me with, because it wasn't just okay, yeah, Jake, now that you're this far along in the process, this is your path as a minister of the gospel. That's not been my experience at all. It's been as that's what I was expecting. That has become in a way almost fuzzier. What has become clearer is I am so fulfilled being a pastor that's just surrendered to where God needs me to be in a moment. It's taught me to wake up and say, all right, Lord, what thy will be done. What would you have me do today? What should I focus on? I really appreciate the leadership in this conference and this denomination, and I just hope that we can follow their modeling of just building relationship with each other, and that discipleship really is just about close proximity. It's that discipleship happens when we are with each other. That is a beautiful thing that I've seen in Free Methodist, and I would just say more of that. Bringing people along, bringing people into what God is putting on our hearts. I think that is how the kingdom's gonna just be built.